Hello friends, this is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and today I would like to talk about all the crap that I seemingly have missed over the last couple of days on the forums. Now, first and foremost, the thing that I really want to focus on is this follow-up to the Q&A. There's one giant takeaway from this, and I talk about this on my blog post that I post with this video. So if you're actually watching the video, not on my blog, I talk about it on my blog as well. They need bandwidth. They just don't have a big enough studio and enough people to do all the crap that they want to do. So I put a link to Capital Games. If you're in Sacramento and you're a developer and you're someone who likes nerd stuff, plus the culture's awesome. And when I went out there on my trip 2 years ago, my first trip to Sacramento, the food there is phenomenal. I had this salad with fish. It was delicious. It was right across the street from the Capital Games place. It was wonderful, but that's besides the point. They need help. And if you know stuff about developing games or game theory or analytics, there is a link on my website to the Capital Games website that will allow you to apply for a job. Go help them out. Go bring them cookies. Go motivate them to do whatever the hell it is they need to do more of this. But it seems like they need a little bit of help, right? Because there was one moment in, let's look at this, it was in question 3. The question was, how many ships did you add last year? And they go through and they say, hey, this is how many ships we added. But then they say, the same designer that makes the ships also makes characters. And I think we'll all acknowledge that it's been a challenge to strike the right balance between how many ships and how many characters we produce. That said, we've got a lot of opportunities for more ship content in the next couple of years. So one takeaway, right? Next couple of years, they're planning on this for a couple of years. 2, it's the same guy. Now, granted, if they had more than one computer, which is a big running joke that they say they've only got one computer at the whole company. When I was there, I saw at least 2 computers. I don't know what the other computer's for, but just saying, if they were to use that as well, maybe they could get more done. Another major point, another major takeaway from this was he asked this developer, he's like, what are they bringing? Well, they're bringing the Malevolence. We've all been speculating. Hell, we've all been talking just right out about it. Everyone has said the Malevolence is coming. And then you have this really bad dad joke up here where it's like, tell us the future. And, they're talking about the biggest thing right now is we need an additional capital ship. We've added only one capital ship since launch. With upcoming Geonosian Territory Battle, we're going to release a new capital ship. We've all known that. We've all suspected that. I have prayed with fingers crossed that it would be Trench would be coming. Admiral Trench, he's awesome with his capital ship. I don't know if that's coming. I'm still really hoping that might be coming. But he says, I wish we could show more benevolence and tell you exactly what's coming, but negotiations are underway about when we will share the news. So first off, they haven't really shared the news that the Territory Battle, or when they're going to launch it. And we haven't seen a lot from them in a couple of weeks. It sounds like they've been preparing for this whole Grand Arena Championship launch, the information, and the Q&A. They've been preparing for that. So maybe that's why they've been holding off on information for a time. But my thought is we're going to get some info here pretty quickly. And with that, it seems like this capital ship's coming. So who's going to be at the helm of the ship? If it's the Malevolence, the answer is one of 2 characters, Count Dooku, General Grievous. It just makes sense. The Malevolence was manned by those 2. Now, if I do remember correctly, Admiral Trench's capital ship was connected to the Malevolence. I believe it was a Malevolence type ship. I don't know. I'm hoping that Admiral Trench, fingers crossed. Now, it could be that they're actually going to bring in a Benevolence class ship. I did some research, and that is a legitimate ship in the Star Wars universe. It was on both Galactic Republic and Separatist sides. They used it in the Rebellion. I just don't see them adding that. That doesn't make any sense at all. But as I've said, they do throw in some red herrings from time to time, so I don't know. Now, finally, guys, they do talk about a raid, and they say, yeah, we want a raid. We've wanted a raid for a while, and they've been trying to include different elements. To be honest, I don't think they have enough ships for a ship raid. And it sounds like the idea here is the next raid they introduce will have a ship component to it, not necessarily a ship raid. And that makes more sense to kind of try it out, because right now, again, we don't have nearly enough ships as we need to have a ship raid. We all want to take on the Death Star. I mean, hell, we'd all be willing to blow up Starkiller Base. That would be awesome. But there's not enough content. There's not enough characters for us to do something like that. And unless it was a much bigger, thing. Now, it's possible that Starkiller Base could be where they go with it, because in the Q&A, they did say, we have this, we're working on this, we're working on new content. Someone specifically asked in the Q&A, will Veteran Han and Veteran Chewie ever get the Resistance tag? If they gave them the Resistance tags, they could show up on Starkiller Base. That would be really cool if you needed those two characters for something like that raid. I don't know. I'm not 100%, but again, it would be pretty freaking awesome, right? That would be really cool. What do I think is actually going to happen? It's hard to say. I don't think that we'll be getting a raid within the next 6 months. I think it's possible they could start working on a raid. Right now, it does say they're in the ideation phase. They're just kind of thinking about it, getting the ideas out there. But it sounds like their new focus is going to be on Grand Arena Championships for the next couple of months. Probably the next 4 to 6 months at the very least. What we shall see is what we shall see. I think that we're going to see a lot of new stuff coming in probably in the next couple of months for sure. And new stuff discussed in the next couple of months. For sure, we are getting a Separatist ship. For sure, one of our characters is going to become a fleet commander. Grievous makes the most sense. Dooku also makes a lot of sense. Newt Gunray, not so much. Unless they give us a brand new character in the form of Admiral Trench, as I've been asking for. But let's face it, guys, when have they ever listened to me? I've been waiting for Hondo for the longest freaking time, and I will continue to wait. But with that, guys, what do you think's happening here? Do you think we will be getting a First Order raid? Do you think it's possible that we could be getting Starkiller Base raid with both ships and other stuff? Do you think ships are going to take priority in the next couple of months? Do you think Capital Games will ever hire someone else to help design other characters and or ships? My fingers are crossed, and I highly suggest you guys, if you have the experience, if you live out in the Sacramento area, give them a shot. I mean, the worst they can say is no, right? That being said, guys, if you're interested to support the channel, you can join me on Patreon. You can join me on Discord. You can just straight up donate. Bring me cookies. I'm down. Said you can also buy a shirt. You can check out my Amazon storefront where I do book reviews and other things. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at RealGoingNerdy, and you can join me on goingnerdy.com, where I post a lot of just random stuff, random fandoms of mine, and talk about other things. And I am going to be covering a lot more of that in written form than in visual form, unfortunately, just for the time that it takes. But if you are interested, help support the channel. Any donations help. Anything helps. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and as always, my friends, smile and stay nerdy.